his bedevilment recently.
And one of the things with that Darius in the top lane, which we won't see this game because we already know what everyone's going to be picking and banning. Crossing your fingers. We've seen him on our stream that we shoutcast on Tuesday nights. There's two different players, Yuki and Seal, that bring Darius out as their most common played champion. And if they get even a hint of being ahead, they can snowball so well. Darius is one of those kind of hidden champions that he can 1v3, he can 1v2, as long as the person that has those, that champion in their hands and knows what they're doing with him, it is extremely powerful.
Yes, absolutely. Let me see. In the bot lane, the most powerful picks right now, Jhin is actually up there for once. Let me think. Who else?
Let me interrupt for a second and ask, where did Zed go? He was seen so often in the beginning of the year, especially when Electric Q was really strong, and I know that they nerfed some of those first champions, but he's still a very good assassin. So I don't see him nearly as much as I used to.
Well, he doesn't have as much late game scaling potential is the thing.
That's fair.
Zed has a fairly telegraphed way of attacking you. Unless you're at the very highest level, then you're not going to have the incredible amount of variation. Really, Zed comes in, he ults you, he drops his shadow, and he throws the shuriken at you, and then you die.
Right.
Past that, he doesn't really do anything, and doing that in the late game, when you have a Taric, when you have a Nami, or anybody who's there to basically whose existence is devoted to screwing up your combo,
right.
Zed is difficult to execute in late game team fights, which is why he's not picked as much.
I do want to throw in really quick, for those of you that are kind of thinking what's going on with the picks from Dank memes, my assumption, though obviously I don't have all the information, is that this is the original composition, the Elise and the Galio. They're going to pick the Taric and the Tryndamere as their last two picks. So as long as they're not banned, which they shouldn't be, they're going to pick those up as the last two picks. They're just kind of more than likely picking the players that are going to be playing that champion, so they don't have to do the trade rounds afterwards, which makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Especially when you know what it is that you're going to be playing already from the get-go. It says, you know what, let's just go ahead and grab them anyway.
Yep. Okay, so percentage likelihood, what do you think it is that this lobby is going to get dodged?
I actually think it's unlikely. And the reason why is because most of the players seem to be locking their champions immediately. They seem to know exactly what it is that they're doing. There doesn't seem to be any questioning or hesitating or trying to just go in and doing it. Obviously, a little hesitation on the bans because they're trying to remember. That's one thing for me when I've had to remake lobbies. Remembering all the ones that I banned could be a little bit of a difficulty. But looks like we are going to finally get into game number 1 of the DragonCon League of Legends 2018 tournament. And we'll see if Dank Memes, with their new roster of throwing in Varus to their original picks, is going to be able to take on Team Mercy and what they believe is going to be the strongest picks for them. And yeah, a little celebration for hopefully getting into game 1. We're not quite there yet. We do have a 3-minute wait because these games are going to be slightly delayed. So that way there's no potential of someone stream sniping or sharing any information. Though that was a lot more powerful back in the day when no ward lasted past 3 minutes. The only thing that can be shared a little extra is the control wards. So. Oh, still trading.
So they are now loading into the game. There is no possibility of a dodge. Okay. We've dodged that hurdle. Now the next big one is, does Riot Games decide to screw us over? Because we could...
Don't even talk about it. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
That's plastic.
Close enough.
Because we could still potentially have the stream data not upload to Riot servers, and then we have to remake the lobby again.
Don't even talk about that. I'm just going to go for the best and say it's totally fine. All right. We've talked these compositions a little bit to death. But let's talk a little bit about the late game, all right? When you've got a Trundle and you've got a Jax super late into the game, they're going to be pretty beefy. And Jax is really good on that split push. One of the things you see, though, he's a jungler. You aren't going to get the same power and benefit that you could have of him on that 1-3-1, pushing a side lane and then teleporting to either a team fight or when people try to come kill him, teleporting out. So they won't have that. Do you see Tryndamere taking his place?
In the
Trundle taking his place, or do you see Jax still trying to run that and just it be more dangerous because he doesn't have that teleport?
in the late game, I expect to see Jack splitting a top lane, simply because that puts him in the area of the Baron. So that he can just rotate down when the Baron is in question. He's going to be close to the team fight. Whereas I see Trundle splitting a bot lane against Tryndamere, who does not have teleport. That is important to see. You have Ghost, Ignite on Tryndamere, so he's looking for kill lanes right now. Trundle is a very strong laner, though, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. His ability on Chomp to steal a percentage amount of his attacker's AD away makes it much more difficult to kill. His passive, which regenerates every single time something near him dies in a lane, is just so potent for just sustain. You can't force him out of lane, whereas that's what Tryndamere would want to do. Secondly, remember what I said about Tryndamere not really having that many options to get close. And once he uses the spin to win, Trundle drops the pillar between them, and they go boop, and that engage is over.
Before we get too much further, let's go ahead and roll through the players and their champions. Returning for year number 3, Dank memes. We've got the Trinity 2647 taking the Elise in the jungle. 400 meta Pandas with Varus on the 80 carry role. Rayko taking the Galio into the the mid lane. Blue Apex with the Tryndamere in the top lane, and Kimarhi Ronso taking Taric in the bottom lane supportive role.
And for Team Mercy, we've got Findale 1625 on Trundle in the top lane. Fallen Hero on Jhin in the bottom lane ADC role. We've got O Virtue taking Nami in the bottom lane supportive role. Nyumei on Ahri in the mid lane, and SnowFox rounding it out with Jax in the jungle.
All right, we'll see what these teams can bring. Just to update everyone again, these are all best of ones until the final, which will be a best of 5. So we should have some pretty good games going on in just a minute. Just excited to see how things all break down and see if Dank Memes can pull it out for a 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. Is Dank Memes have they weathered? Have they become weaker in the past? Or are they going to be a stronger team than last year? They've had an entire year to gel as a team. They're obviously all still together. Do they have that team synergy, or have they gotten flabby in the off season? We'll see. Are they going to be able to pull it out? Whereas Team Mercy, Fallen Hero, SnowFox, these are and Findale are all names I recognize from last year. So this is a returning team. So the question is, do we have an upset? Do we have somebody who's coming back looking for vengeance? Maybe they got shut down last year, and they've decided that they're going to come back, and they're going to have their victory this year.
This is going to be their time to shine. We'll find out here in just a minute as we are loading into game. We still got the Namiti still loading in a little bit. Oh, Virtue should be back to 100% here in just a second, and then we'll get right into game number 1. All right, for those of you that are watching right now, if you guys think the Dank Mercy can take it for a win, go ahead and throw out a cheer. I'm cheering for Dank Mercy. Woo! Or Dank Memes.
Both
Dank
teams.
Mercy. Well, that's not making it easy for you guys. Make it a lot easier for you. You can, cheer for both teams at the exact same time, so you don't have to worry about it.
All right, and that is going to be. We have loaded into the game, guys. So that's all of the potential pitfalls. We are now in game, everyone. This is amazing.
It's pretty fantastic. Happy to be able to make this one happen. And we'll be getting to game here in just a second. There we go. Sorry, I'm doing a handful of things really quick because with the new computer, boom, fantastic.
We are now looking at the game. It's been a long time to get here. We're only 1 hour late. But we got here.
But
and that's the important part.
Ooh, huge collection here from both Dank Memes and Mercy on this bottom side. Nice little orb.
First blood.
First damage onto the Elise. Just poking her out a little bit. Is she going to recall? I don't think she's going to go all the way recall. She only lost 100 health. But
and
could try to grab it.
Go all the way
all right.
Back.
Going to go grab that health back before running back to the bottom side. There is a ward from each of them on that bottom blue side brush, but I don't think they're going to investigate too much further into that brush.
Yeah, it does not look like they were going to have any fancy invades. Everybody playing it safe. I kind of like it. They've never played against each other before, and I doubt anybody's pulled up the stream from last year's DragonCon to get insider data on scrims. Don't think that happened. So all just playing it safe, not invading, not doing anything nuts. We're gonna play it out fast, and maybe we'll see invades later in the day. Just some basic laning now.
And that's one of the things about a best-of-5 finals. It gives you the opportunity to play a little more dangerous. You can play a little more risky. You can try some strategies that you might not do in a best-of-1, where it's a little bit more normal. Unfortunately, we can't do best-of-3s for all the games. It just would take way too long, and the tournament's already going to be extremely long as is. But we appreciate you guys that are watching, coming out, hanging out, supporting the teams, or trying to get some updated info on your enemies that you may be playing later on into the tournament, as this is the first time that a lot of people are being able to see Team Mercy and their lineup. Let's go ahead and grab the players and move them into the correct positions so that they are where they're supposed to be.
Meanwhile, there's a small health advantage for Fallen Hero on this Jhin. Metapanda not taking the sustain against the lane bully that is Jhin. I was expecting to see Fleet Footwork. Even though it did get nerfed, it's still a good option, but we do have the lethal tempo for that late game damage. However, that puts them in an incredible disadvantage against a Nami Jhin, who is a sustain poke lane versus the counter-engaged lane. Metapanda taking a lot of damage and is forced to flash away early. The level 2 did not see that coming. Findale trading out well in the top lane versus Blue Apex. And I believe farming well, not as well at 7-14, so Tryndamere picking up that gold. While Findale does have a wave shoving into him, he's not going to be having that gold on that first back, which is unfortunate for him.
Oh, Galio in the mid lane, going to get the taunt down with a cocoon from the Elise as well. The flash burst off the Ahri, maybe going down. This could be first blood, and a little bit of a... Oh, he was caught on the Elise Spiderlings. He actually had, where it's very rare, but it does happen, in which the Spiderlings act as minions, and your character can sometimes get locked up between the two. It was underneath the turret. So, completely by accident, the Trinity gives the first blood to the opposite team in the mid lane. Now, it is a trade 1-for-1, so the Ahri still went down, but it was after the second blood. Now, damage on Jax. He's trying to use the counter-strike to get this ult down. There's the taunt from the Galio. Are they able to take Axe out? SnowFox trying to run away. He will go down as well. So it's now a 2-for-1 Dank meme. Starting off hot in that mid lane, taking up the jungle and the mid laner already.
Yeah, not wanting to see that fail flash into the wall always feels bad. But Ahri, good props to him for being able to land the charm. That's actually what pulled him back into tower range. He didn't get minion block, maybe on the way out, but he got charmed. He walked in, took 2 tower shots, then got charmed, and walked back into tower range, sealing his fate. So, even under pressure, still managed to land that charm, and definitely kept that lane from snowballing away from him.
One of the nice things about that was that Galio now has a minion farm going in, getting the taunt again, and he's got double buffs now, so when he lands his auto attacks, he's being able to burn that Ahri down. One engage drops Ahri to about half health, so she's going to have to be chugging a lot of potions to keep her health up.
Quite so. Meanwhile, Blue Apex completely content just to take the damage and farm it out in the top lane, and I believe that is exactly what he's going to want to do in this particular lane. If he can beat his opponent in CS, and once again, that's another root landed from Fallen Hero. The Varus has been...
Oh, wait, Tryndamere underneath the turret. He's level 5, hoping to get level 6. This is a little bit of pause. There we go. As he's going to spin away, but he can't get out. He doesn't have level 6. He healed just enough. He is alive. Findale with the silver health, but SnowFox is coming up as well. The ghost from Tryndamere, the jump from SnowFox. I don't think he'll have the leap, and he doesn't have flash either.
The smite! Oh! And that is a kill traded back. That Jax managing to
Elise coming to the bottom, flashes over the bubble from the Nami. They've got the stun, but they can't get the Taric stun to line up as well. And so Elise is going to get away, but they did burn the flash from both bottom laners. And so that means that there's an opportunity for Elise to regank later, even though that initial gank did fail.
Yeah, that is a flash-for-flash trade. Jungler for ADC. That means Jin's going to have to trade
all right,
farther
here
back.
comes Galio into the mid lane once again. Just harassing Ahri down. Don't know if he'll go all the way in. Will decide to just back out, go for that initial harass.
Quite so. Okay, so Virtue, having a little bit of mana left over, will be able to hail Jhin all the way back up to full. That's going to give him the potential to stay in lane and maybe push it out. They're both reaching those item breakpoints when they're going to want to be going back, but Jhin will be able to have lane priority on that way. Meanwhile, they are hanging out under their turret, so there shouldn't be at risk of a gank, plus they've got the jungler on that side. Elise, keep in mind, Elise is about to find Jax in the jungle, who has more HP. Galio roaming down, but it is going to be called off. Jax backs away after taking away the Grom.
Yeah, so playing a little bit safe. Looks like Jax is walking forward for a moment. It is an Infernal Drake, as Blue Apex now with the ultimate feels a bit safer to just kind of push Trundle out of the lane, backing him up a little bit. He does have about a 10 farm CS lead, though Trundle still is got a wave that he can try to pick up and catch back up on some of that farm. One of the things I like from the Taric is that he's running those rejuvenating biscuits, which means that he's going to be able to continue and keep his mana pool up and keep killing the Varus. Varus, pretty mana dependent, and he's usually been running very low, so there's actually, I think, a little bit of less kill pressure where you want to be able to land some of those stacks, then throw a Q out, explode all those stacks, and get the damage down. As this time around, doesn't seem that he's going to have that, because after burning the flashes, they're going to back by, and there's still opportunity for Elise to gank in the bottom lane because Jhin's flash is still down.
Jhin's flash will be down for the next few minutes, and Jhin currently pushing in the bottom lane if you look at the mini-map. And it looks like they are going to recall back. Meanwhile, Findale picking up that big wave that he's gotten for himself and try and even up this CS just a little bit. Drops the frozen, whoa. Apex, hold on, we have a gap at the top
Rayko
lane.
coming up to the top side. He wants the taunt, and the Tryndamere starts it off, so he's going to have his ultimate to be able to use to clear a lot. Can't use it in time. Looks like he will. Undying Rage gets him out. But Findale, a second time, lives through fighting underneath the turret. Nyumei now up here looking to be able to re-engage. They want to take the Tryndamere down. She's going to use the ultimate. But nice taunt from Galio, as well as a knockup is going to hold her through. She still has 2 more charges of her ultimate. We'll use one. Jax here, getting the counter-strike stun. And Galio uses the ultimate to jump to the Tryndamere as he's just warding them off. So another top fight failed from Dank memes, but they are able to get all of their members out alive. Though Jax is still hanging around. I don't know the Blue Apex knows that he's in here. He's got blue buff, so Counter-Strike will be started. He jumps in, finds the stun. Tryndamere Ahri tries to flash forward to get the charm down, but unable to find it. I don't think she actually fired it off, and still will be forced to walk away empty-handed.
Yeah, I think they really should have just taken their advantages they got there. That's a substantial amount of investment. It was the Galio ultimate, it was the Tryndamere ultimate, and all of the pressure from Elise in the top lane. They had clearly won that fight. What with Findale managing to survive under the tower, but they invest Ahri's flash, so overall it's even, if not a loss, on the side of Mercy.
Yeah, you don't want to see that flashing forward without anything beneficial, especially on an assassin when there are some squishier members like that Varus. But you got to give some credit to this Blue Apex on the Tryndamere, staying alive again and again in situations where people keep yanking him and keeping the pressure onto the Tryndamere. He gets knocked out of his recall. We'll just go right back into a couple auto attacks before backing out and grabbing some more farm. 62-49, so feeling good. We'll see what build path he decides to go, where as Trundle has grabbed that Tiamat, so he's looking for a bit of an extra farm and just AD. No tank yet.
Yeah, he's looking to get some wave clear down. Currently, Tryndamere's been using his spinning slash to push him into the turret, and he's been losing a substantial amount of CS. Once again, down of still about 11 CS at the moment, but now we'll be able to push the Tryndamere in.
Oh, there's the ultimate from Jhin. The Taric uses his own to be able to try to stay alive, but he does get it down just in time. Flashes away. There's the route onto the Jax. He's trying to run away. Will this be another kill? As Galio comes up to the backline, he's got a taunt on both. He tries to jump away, jumps to a minion. Will he stay alive? Counter-strike to avoid auto attacks. Rayko cannot take him out just yet. Are they going to dive under the tower? Rayko takes it up, and with nice Winds of War, finishes off the Jax, walks away, giving a 4th kill over to Dank Memes.
Yeah, that was an incredible collapse by Dank Memes. That teleport coming in from Rayko was clutch and did turn the fight around. Jhin saw that, walked back into the Varus snare, got locked down. Immediately, all of the damage evaporated from that side, and then the bubble. Rayko flashed forward past the bubble in order to secure the kill onto Jax. Incredible, and it's going to secure them first tower blood. Dank Memes in a very commanding position in all lanes right now.
Absolutely, and that's what we talked about, is that once they start to get behind, it's not going to be good for them, but instead they've kept the pressure up, and the 2 lanes that you could say are potential were flip-flopped on Powerhouse are doing well. Tryndamere still at a farm lead, only gave 1 death over, but not that big of a deal because Trundle wasn't the one who picked it up. On the same side, it's Galio that's got a 20 farm lead over this Ahri. And now, Mercy, trying to get back into the game, is going to start the Infernal, but this could be really bad for them because Dank Memes is onto them. They've got 3 coming forward, the flash forward, and the little cocoon lands onto Jax. SnowFox is in trouble, he's running away. Jhin grabs the snare onto the Galio, trying to slow him down. The exhaust onto Jax may mean that he goes down as the Elise is trying to finish him off. He walks back and forth in the brush, wants to get back in. Trundle, the Taric finding the stun on 2. Galio knocks up 3. This is huge, but the Trinity's the only one left alive. Jhin has been free shooting on the backline. Varus comes around the corner. He's hiding in a brush, waiting to see if Mercy oversteps. But so far, that is a 2 for 2, so even between these two teams.
Yeah, that very wise not to overstay there. That would have gotten turned around. The reason they lost that fight is because Meta Pandas was not with them. Findale now
Meta Pandas may be in trouble. He's going to be jumped on. That's the 4th shot from the Jhin. Slides right by. Doesn't matter. He's already been taken out. Nice charm from Nyumei, but it was all started by that Trundle landing a perfect pillar. And Ferrodrick started up, but these are the 2 squishy members. Trundle said, peace out. I'm going to go save my top lane turret as he teleports up here, which is important as well because he walked from the top lane down there during that whole fight. In the meantime, though, he's trying to save his top lane turret. Blue Apex, maybe he'll take it down. The Infernal is picked up by Mercy, though they are going to lose that tower in the top lane. Blue Apex now trying to run away. Should be able to escape. Those speed boosts from Findale. He's got no more mana. Can he chase this in? He's waiting to have just enough mana for a pillar. And finally decides to back out, let the Tryndamere escape, take his turret gold, go back and buy again.
Yeah, Tryndamere, very well played. They did end up getting the Infernal Drake for that top lane tower, so somewhat in an even trade. So Mercy ends up getting a late game scaling Drake versus the
Elise may find. Oh, waiting for the cocoon. Early flash by Fallen Hero does get him out of that cocoon, though it might not have landed depending on his sidestep ability. This time, though, we'll again have a flash burn. Won't have it for the next fight if they're able to make it happen in the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, the funny part about that last interaction was Elise actually fired her Q to get the damage down first, and then he tried to flash the Q, which is a point-and-click ability.
So it just followed him through. 3 members from Team Mercy into the mid lane. Taunt onto the Trundle, but he's the tankiest member, so he's really good. Galio may go down. The Trundle ultimate to use on Galio, and he is a squishy boy, so will be taken out. The Trundle picking up credit for that one. Ahri trying to get a little bit of damage onto Elise as they push those minions to meet the turret. Will back out. There's 4 of them here, though, so they could turn onto the Rift Herald, but maybe just stopping Tryndamere's push.
Very surprised they backed away from that one. They had priority on the mid lane with no one defending it. They definitely could have at least chunked it to half, if not taken it down outright. But they elect to back and clear jungle camps, which, okay, so currently Blue Apex moving on to that red buff, but he is sniffed out and caught. Just briefly, the Taric was charmed up, but nothing's going to come from it. SnowFox will be able to secure his red buff with a smite that leaves it at 9 HP.
So a solid 2,500 gold to Dank Memes. They are feeling pretty good. They are down on Infernal Drake, which will scale for the side of Team Mercy late game. Jhin loves a couple extra Drakes. While it is a calmer moment, let's go ahead and check in on the next Drake. It's going to be a Mountain Drake, which, as a pushing team, it seems with that Tryndamere, and now the side lane Galio, who's starting to push that bottom side, it's really going to be in favor of Dank Memes if they can be able to pick that up and allow Varus to tear through turrets when they're able to push up to them. But we'll see if they prioritize that, as the wards right now from Team Mercy, the control ward right by that dragon, they've got vision on it when it spawns the next couple of minutes.
Yeah. So currently this has kind of devolved into that 1-3-1 we were talking about. Blue Apex hit with the pillar.
Yeah, she's been slowed down. SnowFox here as well, starts the counter-strike, hops in, gets the stun down. The Tryndamere hasn't used the ult yet, and now he's going to be popping that, trying to run away. Ghost popped as well. Can he speed his way to safety? Taric's running up. No, Findale, flash jump, takes the Tryndamere out, so he's going to finally die a second time. In the meantime, Dank Memes rotating towards the mid, try to get a little pressure on him. The wave clear from Ahri is pretty darn good. Elise uses that repel, trying to escape for the moment. The Galio trying to protect as much as possible, but Elise may be falling here. Trundle, very, very low. Will be knocked up as well, and Elise gets credit on that one as Varus pumping damage to the backside. The Taric ultimate has been used, though it didn't block that much damage. It is evened up. Top laners are down for both teams. 4 members each in the mid lane. Galio does have flash available, so he could still try to flash taunt someone. looks like they're just going to play a little safe for the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of ultimates used from the side of Dank memes, but they did come out 1 for 0 in that fight. But unfortunately, there are no real objectives up. They could rotate toward the Rift Herald now if they wanted to, but with the members alive in the mid lane right now, that would be a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, they're still sitting about that 2.5k gold lead, and that means that they don't actually have that much more. Oh, I was about to say, if Galio flashes to taunt underneath the turret, I think it's a really poor choice. They're just trying to burn it down. They will successfully pick that one up. Jhin steps a bit forward. He gets cocooned. Elise goes in deep. Smite down as well. He's trying to run away, but Galio gets a knock-up on top of it. The Jhin is still alive. In the meantime, the Taric tries to move forward to stun people up, but the Galio falls. Jhin did finally fall. Galio with the Winds of War picked it up on the backside. Second time he's been able to do that now. Varus shooting from the side, but he's forced to back away as Taric will fall, and that is a massive 3-for-1 that Team Mercy won completely in that team fight.
Yeah, Team Mercy, definitely the superior team fight right there. With all of the ultimates being down from Dank memes, they're team fighting the Taric and the Galio ultimates both dropped. Those are the ones that give them the team fighting superiority. So forcing for that second tower was not wise. They didn't have the ability to call out the Team Mercy, and Team Mercy decided, okay, we'll take this fight, and they did. So instead of getting that team win and pressing their advantage further, they set themselves farther behind. They're not actually behind in gold right now, but in kills and potentially in late game scaling, because a lot of their gold is on that Galio, who is not necessarily the AP threat that Ahri is, or the damage threat that Jhin is. Really, they need all of that damage and the gold put into the Varus, who actually has no kills and only a middling amount of farm right now.
One of the things I like to see from Team Mercy is using the pressure that they gain from some of these fights a bit more. Though we do see Trundle coming to the top side. He's got the slow with the help of the Nyumei. Tryndamere decides to try to fight it out, but will be pillared up, has to back away. Uses the ultimate. Elise coming up from the side, trying to save him. Gets the cocoon onto the Trundle. Now she might be in a spot of trouble. The Jhin ultimate from the side. Varus is going to burn down with Trundle, burning the damage away. Elise getting away for the moment as Virtue on the squishy Nyumei tries to escape. The taunt from Galio not going to land. Cocoon onto Trundle once again, but there's two more members from Team Mercy, and again they take out Galio. Two members cleaned up. They're going to push for the top lane turret, get that. Would love to see them rotate to the Rift Herald as well, because that's what I'm talking about. They win team fights, they need to make use of that pressure, rather than just backing, buying, and coming right back out. Now they've gotten themselves the first turret of the game. We'll see if they rotate to Rift Herald. Looks like that's where they're headed.
A complete positional collapse from Dank memes. Their bottom lane was in the bot side of the map when they went to contest for top. Once again, the Tryndamere caught out in the side lane. Trundle doing a very good job using that pillar to section him off. Nyumei recognizing that since Tryndamere would be dead, backing off. That's the Rift Herald going over now, and Trinity caught out.
Yeah, Trinity doesn't have anything to jump to, so she repels, jumps right back in, immediately to her own death. There's a bit of a CC lockup from the Taric stun over the wall, but not too much to do that. I'm surprised Elise didn't hold her repel longer. Wait for Taric to get into position for the stun, and then come down on top of everyone to try to escape. Looks like, though, she will be taken out, so it's rotating to the Drake for Team Mercy.
Yeah, the Drake has been pinged out by Team Mercy, and that is exactly what I wanted to see from them at this phase of the game. They've sectioned off and killed the Elise. That's no smite available for the side of Dank memes, so this is just a free Drake, and Meta Pandas forced to flash. Excellent use of the ultimate by the Ahri, jumping forward, forcing that summoner spell out. Now Varus is going to have to play much further back in those team fights. Otherwise, he will be killed by both of those people who will be going for him, the Trundle and the Ahri. Since he is really the only damage source, because Elise will fall off later into the game. Varus is the only consistent damage source. Without that defensive summoner spell, he's going to be in a spot of trouble, considering he does still have heal up, so there is a little bit of salvation for him.
Yeah, Trundle being huge this game, 5-1-1. Super strong. He's confidently walking into each situation. He's going the damage route, has that Hydras, and we'll see what he decides to pick up next. Probably its reinforces. He's got that Sheen early on, but huge powerhouse for the side of Team Mercy, so playing around him in those team fights is essential. We talked about Dank memes wanting to kind of run that 1-3-1 composition. They've been doing a lot of team fighting, again and again, kind of forcing situations they don't want to be in. As Jin's going to get nice damage down, Tryndamere may have to pop the ultimate, He uses a heal, keeps himself alive for the moment. The minions are distracted though, so not as much damage going on to the turret. In the jungle, it's going to be Elise, jumped on by Jax. Galio is in the top side though, so he can't defend. Jumped on by 2 members, so he's going to fall quickly. Elise gets on head of the Jax and is sniped out. Beautiful shot by Jhin is going to finish off Elise, though they do still pick up that turret. So these fights increasingly go back and forth, even on gold now. Taric, Varus, and Tryndamere pushing out this bottom side, but there's no drink for them to go, so nothing for them to really pressure on this bottom.
Globally, that is a 2-for-1 in favor of Team Mercy, and now the gold has been basically tied up. It's about 300 gold in the lead for Team Mercy, but that's at this stage in the game, that's essentially an even game.
Nice charm.
Caught out.
Oh, he lives. Okay, Ahri probably assumed that he was going to die from all that burst, though his heal was forced out, so he won't have that in the next fight. But it shows, though, the power that Ahri is slowly scaling up. She's got Eluden's Echo waiting on that second item. 2 items in, that's definitely going to kill Jhin.
Yeah. The main issue right now is Dank memes is a team fighting composition with an awkward Tryndamere thrown in the side. I'm not sure why they aren't grouped. They have a powerful late game carry, and they've got the Taric ultimate, and they've got the Galio ultimate. Why aren't they grouping? Jhin is not the best team fighter. Ahri not the best team fighter. Jax is okay. Nami's pretty good, but you have all of these team fighting monsters on your team. Hold on.
The Varus maybe going down. He does. There's no heal, nothing available. Elise in the backside stuns out the Jhin. He's extremely low, but survives. Galio knocks up 3. They take out the Jhin, but that's the one squishy member. Now SnowFox gonna jump in, grab the stun on Galio. Rift Herald taking out the turret. There's nothing for them to be hitting as Kimarhi trying to run away down to half, forced to flash away. The 2 Jhin where he's looking for the moment. Jax goes in underneath the turret. The taunt is down. Galio is doing everything that he can to stop this fight. Trundle
does not even care.
He doesn't. He's still underneath the turret. A stun from Taric still will survive. Tryndamere to the backside finishes off Ahri. Now starts to hit the Rift Herald. Trundle's on the wrong side of the wall, but he is a tanky boy. He's got the frozen mallet as well. Gonna start to spin through as Blue Apex follows afterwards. The pillar slows him, so he's just gonna turn on, grab those minions. Varus has respawned, so there's no chase available, and Team Mercy gets a massive influx in gold. And that's going to give them a 2,000 gold lead now as they are coming back in this game.
I was going to say, I'm not sure that 1 in 3 Tryndamere wants to fight the 8 in 1 Trundle with armor. Not thinking that's a great idea. But throughout that whole team fight, you saw Varus picked off initially. Remember what I said at the beginning. This game will be decided by the bot laners, and it is. Because even though Jhin gets picked off in the initial phases of that fight, he manages to deal a substantial amount of damage, both through the ultimate, the snare, and a few autos he got off. Pandas completely got picked off underneath that turret, so he offers no damage. But the real deciding factor in that fight is the fact that there's no damage coming through from anybody else.
Yeah.
Tryndamere, AFK in the side lane, as you would expect him to be. While you do have Elise, she's single target burst damage. She hit Jhin, and then she's completely tapped out for the rest of the fight. Same with Galio, who's now getting a little more tanky. He doesn't have anything. Now Trundle on Rayko.
Yeah, that's going to force Galio. He uses the knockup, which is holding him in place for the moment. Taric going to get his stun as well. The ultimate from Nami holds 2 in the moment. Taric ultimate not going to come down fast enough. There is only the damage absorption on the Taric, but can he escape? The CC is too strong. That's what I wanted to mention for the Varus especially. A QSS is going to be absolutely critical because there's so many opportunities for Mercy to be able to pick him off. The Jax Counter-Strike grabbing a stun or Ahri Charm. He needs to have some way to avoid it, as an Ahri Charm is going to knock up Elise, or charm Elise, and she's going to go down as well. Time and time again, Nyumei has been landing these charms, and that's allowed Team Mercy to come back again and again. And they are continuing to stack now 3,000 gold and potentially a Baron, because Dank memes can't stop this.
No jungler for the side of Dank memes means this is a free Baron for Team Mercy. This is likely going to be the end of the game. This is the beginning of the end. They're going to go back, spend their gold, their substantial portion up, almost 5k gold at this point. And now they're just going to be able to march it down mid lane, rotate to a side lane. They might not even care about the side lane. They might just go for the end. They're that strong right now, Jake.
And there is another Drake that will be coming up in just a minute. 10 seconds on an Ocean Drake that Dank memes. Tryndamere's hanging out by, but I think he'll, we'll see. They could find each other. Jhin's going to walk forward. He's the first one in. Nyumei around the side. Tryndamere just spins off the back, and now Taric in a spot of trouble. What are you doing by yourself? This is that lack of truly grouping the Dank Games has. They may be kind of on the same side of the map, but if you're not together, you're not together. And Taric falls, making it a 4v5. Another objective to the side of Mercy. They're going to pick up an Ocean Drake, make their sustain even better, especially on that Trundle. And now they have all the pushing power that they want. So for me, the only way that Dank Games comes back is if they win a absolutely miraculous team fight. You have to have so much CC layered perfectly between the Varus snares, the Galio knockups, and then the burst coming out onto those damage dealers of the Jhin and Ahri. Maybe, at that point, you can win a fight as long as Trundle just falls asleep and decides not to do anything for 3 minutes. But Dank Games has their back to the wall, and they're going to have to fight for their lives to get out of this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't see how they pull off that miraculous fight, though. You've got this Trundle, who's absolutely obscenely powerful right now. 8-1, just
wailing away on
Blue
Tryndamere.
Apex in the side lane. And then he comes into the team fight and steals away all the resistances from their tanks. There's really no way that they're going to
Curtains
be
have been opened. Galio steps forward, finds the taunt, but it's only onto the Jax, who hops to safety. They have chased him off for a moment. Taric goes in, finds the stun onto Nyumei, but he's all alone. Pops the ultimate. Galio knocks him up too, but no one's doing damage. Elise in the back line tries to take out Jhin. He's forced to flash away. The Jhin route not going to find anyone, but Elise and the Jax have fallen. Tryndamere goes down as well. He's the last hope for the side of Dank Memes, and now it is only the Varus left standing. All 4 other members have fallen. Trundle is pushing the bottom side. This will probably be game. The first in a while. Charm from Ahri doesn't land. They're going to take out the inhibitor. Trundle still pushing that bottom side. They've already lost one, and that's going to be the second inhibitor down. The Nexus turrets are starting to be taken out. This Trundle is unstoppable. He's taken out one. This Nexus turret, second turret small. Meta Panda, can you do anything to stop this? No, the Nexus will fall. And game number 1 is going to go to the side of Team Mercy, having played an incredible game after being down almost 3,000 gold at the early side of the game.
Yeah, really all that game was a lack of Dank Meme's ability to group. The early game, they had the advantage. They had 2 towers up and several kills. They were steamrolling. Elise was fed, Galio was fed. All the cards were in their hand, but they didn't group. They didn't play to their win condition. They didn't win the game that was theirs to win because they didn't play toward what their team comp was built to do. And because they failed to do that, they lost the first game, and that defines the main question we had coming into this. Will Dank Memes be our champions? No, they will not.
As a best of 1, they're taken out, and so Team Mercy will be moving on into the semifinals. We're going to get set up for our next game, but ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with game number 2. Thank you for hanging out with us.